So okay, we're starting. I believe it is recording. Okay. All right. You ready?
I can't see your screen right now.
Oh, sorry. Now?
Mm, yeah.
Okay. All right. If you have any questions in the loading, just feel free to ask. So, did you pick Yasuo first, or was it a counter
Yes, I
pick?
did. I know it's down, but I did it.
Okay. Yeah, that's not very good. Yasao's he's a forceful pick. But it's not the worst thing in the world, but I wouldn't recommend doing it in the future.
Mm.
Unless like you're playing with like a ranked fives or something. Okay, we just speed up because this guy's not loading, so I don't know when he's gonna load in. All right. Okay. Now,
The quality isn't that good. Yeah.
something that you have to ask yourself when going Doran's Blade, because in Korea, they've been changing up Yasao's opening. So I'm just going to pause for a second. They've been changing it up with either the Doran Shield opening, the Doran's Blade opening, or they do Longsword with 3 red pots. And they'll recall into Vamp Scepter plus, something else for early sustain, and then start completing into, Static Shiv and whatever. So one thing to consider with Doran's Blade is, do you have kill potential level 2 or 3 on the enemy mid laner? Okay? So
Yeah.
against Annie, technically you shouldn't have kill potential because she should be able to stun you. And if you are going for kill potential level 2, then you have to go, QE. You can't get W, so you can't block her stun. So in that regard, all right, I don't completely agree with the Doran's Blade against Annie because additionally she is extremely potent at poking, and she's very good at just zoning because of her long range and then how low her cooldowns are. And with the changes to her, she can easily CS while harassing relatively easily, especially against
Okay.
80 mid laners. So this doesn't just apply to Annie. It applies to champions that basically they have a way to deny your your level 2 all in. And champions that are generally ranged and can poke at you very well, while also CSing relatively well.
What I do with Yasuo is jumping at the enemy 2 or 3 times at level 2. So I E through a minion, E to the enemy, give him a Q or an auto or both, E backwards, wait for my cooldowns, and E towards him again. I guess I will do that later on, but yeah.
Yeah, right. No, generally that is what Yasuo does, correct. But again, if you're able to execute it against a champion that you shouldn't be able to execute it against, it doesn't mean that it's a correct play.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And what I'm trying to educate you on and help you improve on is making correct plays. Now, yes, if you go up against, your gold 1, if you go up against a bronze player, you could probably just kill him level 1 with Qs. But that doesn't mean that it's correct. It doesn't mean that it's right. It doesn't mean, it's just not proper. So what I'm trying to do is get you to think properly, so that yes, while you can outplay them and you move up the ranks, I want to give you the decision making and the thought processes on how to properly think inside of the lane matchups.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's.
Okay.
Okay. So that's all that I have to say about this. Now it's good to chase her here, but then Elise shows up, and Elise opened W. It's a little weird. Okay. So it's fine. So you're just fanning out.
Yeah, and that shit is coming up over and over again.
Yep.
I will have to switch to Windows soon. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's no problem. It's no
What
problem.
you might recognize in this video is when you play League of Legends on the Mac client is that the second before I die, I lag and have a free screen for 3/4 of a second.
What just happened? Oh, sorry. Oh, that Wirecast.
Yeah.
It's okay. Okay, so she pops your wind wall. And this is what I was like talking about right here, is that like if this Annie is playing properly, then she would have been standing where she's standing right now, but actually even a little bit more up, and it just becomes awkward. And she can easily pop your passive shield, harass you down, you know what I mean, to the point where your Doran's Blade all in. It doesn't really make any sense. And because Annie is auto attack based, now there's other champions that could do this against you. LeBlanc, Syndra, you know, they come to mind right off the top of my head. You know, Nidalee to an extent. It would make more sense to go Doran's shield or Longsword 3 red if you want to play it that way.
Okay.
Okay? And it's just simply for this reason alone. Oh god, that might actually, yeah, because it covers, yeah, that it covers like the. Does that pop up when you're playing?
No.
Okay.
Fortunately not.
Okay. Oh.
I miss so
yeah,
much.
you're missing so much CS. Now here, you go into her, but she should have had a stun prepared, and you know what I mean, for your level 2, and she just should have been holding it. Nice.
I could actually have killed her.
Oh, you kill her. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you miss it.
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
Okay, so you miss it. You know how you miss it, so I'm not even gonna bother.
Yeah, most of the time I even recognize my mistakes.
Yep.
But yeah.
Okay, so you get W here. Now, alternatively, I'm pretty sure, like, do you see the thing right here that you have? Let me just go back. So, okay, there's this going on right here. So you had lethal right there. So that's the first lethal miss. Okay, now let's go back a little bit. Do you see lethal again?
Yes, but yeah.
Okay, so right
so
here.
I could easily dash to minions, then dash to her, ignite Q.
Well, you don't even need to dash to the minions. That gives her too much response time, technically. So if she has reactions when you're standing here, okay, and you dash, and then try to dash, no way. She's, like, going to be standing here by now. She knows what you're going for. You know what I mean? And then that also softens up all these minions, and it makes your lane inherently push, and so it doesn't create a very, it doesn't create a good situation for you. So right now, you do have opportunistic lethal on her. So what you would have to do is that when you're standing here, okay, you would flash to here. Okay?
Yeah,
dash through this, land here, dash onto her, Q auto ignite. You know what I mean? You have to use the flash to get the kill, but it is first blood. If you don't use the flash, you end up giving her about 2 seconds more reaction time, and that's just too game breaking.
Yeah, I was just wondering about I had to wait for my E to be able to hit her again, the white circle.
Right.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, you're right.
Well, if you do the flash, okay, so if you flash here and you E onto this minion, okay, you end up landing right here. You can hit her with a Q, and by the time you hit her with the Q, the E will be able to reset onto her.
Yeah,
now, technically, she could flash, but the way that the skills will buffer and chain, you should still get the E off with the ignite. So, yeah. Now, obviously, if you go for the flash and Annie is really, really good, she flashes back, like at the same exact time. But then it's just flash for flash, and then you still have the edge and lane. So, it all ends up being fine. Okay?
Just give me a second.
Yep.
Ist er da?
Nee, der hat geschrieben.
Ja, ich kann gerade nicht. Ich schreibe ihm bald. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so right here, one thing that I want to point out is why do you ward blue at that timing? Okay.
Um,
Go ahead.
I was recognizing that the enemy jungler was starting red
Okay.
and afterwards went to blue. So the only
Why do you think
route
Elise started red? Because of
I
the
saw
early?
her, I actually, at the beginning,
Right, you saw her at the beginning, but
and
that
I was watching bot lane, and the enemy bot lane arrived later.
okay, all right. If that's, I wouldn't always base it off that entirely. I mean, obviously, yes. If the enemy bot lane arrives statistically late, that could be something. But the bot lane could just be. All right, so I want to address a few things. I know what you're saying, and I can entertain it. You know what I mean? But just seeing
Mm,
Elise here early on, it doesn't always signify a red start. You know what I mean? Because
okay.
Annie was fanning out over there as well, so Elise could just be there to cover her. Now, if bot lane
Mm,
was standing here, behind Red Brush, watching over this opening, that could still make them arrive late. You know what I mean?
okay.
A little bit. Not too much, but it could make them arrive a little late. So without a ward or anything factual, like mana missing from bot lane, like on some of the champions or something, so like maybe the support has some mana missing, or the AD carry does, so obviously they used a skill on there, or like the bot lane does arrive like very bizarrely late, you know what I mean, or something, in terms of a leash,
Yeah.
then you can base that off that. But, so let's say that you do know that she starts red, okay, and she's going to be coming in from blue. Now, Riven has given you this ward over here.
Mm,
Okay, so if Elise does go red, red, wraiths or wolves, doesn't matter which, and then goes to
yeah.
blue. Okay, is her path gonna be like this?
No,
That doesn't
not really.
right. That doesn't make any sense, especially because if your jungler starts blue, that enables your jungler to have counter gank opportunity, but also vision control opportunity. All right.
Mm,
So the only way for her to come out of blue that would make any sense in terms of timing and like travel, because wolves would be gone or wraiths would be gone, is either to do white, I'm sorry, and then come up like this,
mm,
or to go up to top lane. No matter what, Riven's ward has you covered.
okay.
All right.
If Riven wouldn't have placed that ward there, but a bit more upwards, is my ward still bad?
This ward, I have a very hard time accepting river wards like this. I don't
Okay.
feel like they're beneficial against almost any champions. You can place them in certain situations, but why not help yourself and Riven out and place the ward here?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Just shove the lane. So you have this minion here, you have this minion, this minion, this minion. Just walk up, shove this with Q, and then, look at your minions. You see them back here? So that means that Annie's minions are over here. All right? So you still have about 15 seconds in-game time to run around and drop that ward.
Yeah.
Okay? So your ward isn't bad if Riven doesn't have that ward there, but it could be better.
Okay.
All right? That's all. Are we good?
Mm,
Okay. Ugh. Okay. Took a tower shot.
yes.
Okay. Try not to stand still while typing.
Yeah.
You can just do that with one hand. Like even if it's slow, you know what I mean? Just don't make it obvious, because right now you just basically told Annie that you were typing to your jungler, so that's not good. It's a nice win wall. Now this, whoa. Okay. Oh, the Wirecast thing.
Yeah. I will switch to Windows the next few days, and then I can get proper
Yeah.
casting.
Yep.
I refuse to buy the full version because it's so pretty damn expensive.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So now you're facing this awkward point where now Annie. Oh God, she butchered that. Like that was so obvious. Okay, so right now Annie technically had lethal on you if she didn't mess up, right? So if becoming good at laning is not just about mastering your own mechanics; it's mastering the understanding of the enemy mid laner. All right. So right now, a way to reverse engineer this coaching session or something is to put ourselves in Annie's shoes. So let's for a second go back, right? Because this is also a way to learn about your own champion. So let's go back right here. And now I'm not going to be coaching you, Yasuo. I'm going to be coaching you, Annie. Okay? How do we kill Yasuo here?
Flash, stun him with E, Q, ignite,
Well,
auto.
That's if Yasuo's bad. We don't want to play as if our opponent's bad. You always want to expect the most out of them. If they throughout the course of the lane make a ton of bad choices, then yes, you can begin doing things that are inoptimal because you know it'll work against them. Right?
Okay.
But technically, if Annie flashes, Yasuo could instantly respond with the W.
Yeah. So force the wind wall out of him.
So force the wind wall out of him and begin to zone him out of the creeps first. Okay, so we can move into here, force the wind wall out, and just harass him with autos, right? For the time being. As soon as the wind wall is done, you can then flash the wind wall.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're doing this, right, Annie moves to here, we bait the wind wall, okay, and that we know is Annie's goal. Now let's go back to coaching you, Yasuo. So we know Annie's goal is going to be to walk up in front of us, bait the wind wall, and then flash the wind wall and whatever. So now what do? We take this minion as Yasuo, okay, and then we concede the lane.
Okay.
Okay? This is technically dead. Like, this is all dead space right now. This is not able to properly be moved into if Annie's not making any mistakes. So then we go back into Annie's, you know what I mean, Annie's point of view. So Yasuo takes this and then he concedes to Hair. Now what does Annie do? Annie stands, you know, in this vicinity and zones you out of the remaining creeps that these two minions are going to be fighting. Okay? So then you're over here. So now Annie's trying to zone you. So now we go back into Yasuo's perspective. All right, so Yasuo's standing here. As soon as your wind wall's up, okay, you can then try to go on Annie, and then you can try to make a play because her minion aggro, depending on where she's standing, won't be triggered, right? So then you can try to make a play in that sense, because then your HP will have regenerated. You'll have your shield passive up again, so you're able to eat, you know, a damage attack if she doesn't break it with an auto attack first. And if she does break it with an auto attack first, her auto attack won't kill the entire shield, so you'll still have some, you know, passive and some timing to use against her. So through this like reverse engineering, this is how we approach the proper like setup. Does that make sense? Does all this make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
It does.
And this is how you break down a lane. You don't just look at your own champion, you look at both. Okay? So now let's see like how it plays out. So that one wall, and then Annie eats it. So there was the huge mistake, right? And then look, like, she still kind of capitalizes on you. And you're almost dead.
I could have easily killed her.
Yeah, you could have killed her. You could have killed her, but she should have killed you. And so because of that, we like the lane is technically null and void at some points. And now we know why. So right now you just go home. Okay. Good. You don't have to recall in the middle of the lane. One thing that I would advise doing is just recall up here.
Yeah.
Okay. So like literally right above where this annoying YouTube exit thing. Right above the flame. Okay. Oops, sorry. And okay, so you come back to lane with Avarice Blade. So you're playing it a little bit greedy.
Yes, and yeah.
Which is fine. It's not like the end of the world.
It is.
Why?
You will see why.
Oh god.
Just watch.
Oof.
This is
you
the
didn't.
moment. Yeah.
Oh, Tibbers. Okay.
I did not expect her to 100 to 0 me with my shield being up.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Annie, man. Don't underestimate Annie.
Yes, it has been a while since I played versus an anime.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go by this in freeze frame. Okay, so right here. Now let's see. Memorize that. Okay?
Yeah.
So what is Yasuo's full combo on Annie at level 6? Let's look at her HP. Okay? So let's take a freeze frame of it. All right? So this is Annie's HP. Let's just cut it out. Let's cut the box. All right? Let's move it there. All right? And then we go through the freeze frame. Okay? And now we cut this. Ooh, what the fuck? You saw that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is Yasuo's full combo at Annie. Barring the items that you have, okay? You can safely chunk this. Now, I don't know if you watched my Riven VOD, okay? But basically, I talked about how heroes, they have 3 HP bars. Or they have 3 bars that you should always be looking at, okay? So they have, all right, so we're gonna do this. They have HP, okay?
Yeah.
They have mana,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And they have lethal. Okay, so what lethal is it seems like Yasuo takes off, you know, about that. So Annie's lethal bar, okay, we're just gonna use white to indicate it. It's about that.
Yeah.
All right. So Annie's HP in this clip is about this. Okay, and then obviously her mana bar is completely full. So whatever.
Yeah.
So she has 3 bars. Your goal is to get Annie's lethal. You want to get her HP to here. Because then it's lethal.
Yeah.
Okay? So always be looking at champions with 3 bars, not 2. All right? This lethal bar, it's invisible, but it's there. You know what I mean? Technically, you know. So memorizing your damage outputs with all items and then like knowing them at every given second is really, really crucial, especially when you're playing an all-in champ like Yasuo. He's not totally all in, but he does have burst. Like
Yeah, the thing in that moment I was thinking about, if any flashes, I still have her minions to chase and auto or Q her. So yeah.
Right. And
But
then,
I underestimated her.
Okay, and then we can also assume that we're gonna get an auto off on Annie, so we're gonna take her to about here. That's still not lethal. You know what I mean? So lethal, you know, this is important. This bar. All right, so let's go back into the game, and now let's check Annie's full burst. That's pretty fucking. That's really scary. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you take your full HP bar. You know what I mean? And so we'll cut that and look at that. Do you see that? That's not very heavy for lethal. For Annie. Now, what are her items? She just has Seeker's Arm Guard. Okay, so now we're gonna memorize that our MR and our HP value, our MR and armor values, okay, against this amount of AP on Annie at level 6 does this.
Okay.
Okay, so you are not safe unless you time your wind wall. Now, if you time your wind wall, the lethal bar skews. You know what I mean? It skews on different facets where like you'll have like literally 3 different lethal bars. You'll have lethal bar Tibbers, lethal bar W, lethal bar Q. If you block Tibbers with you block Tibbers or whatever.
Is Tibbers blockable with wind wall?
I didn't not believe so, but I heard Monty say that it is. So
If Monty says so.
No, let me, you know what? I can Google that for you right now, actually. I heard that tonight, actually. So let me, okay, hold on. Let me just pull this. Is Tibbers blockable?
You can just go on the Wikipedia page of Yasuo. It's in the references to odds and ends. I don't know.
Okay. What in the fuck? I guess. Like, all right. So I'm reading. I'm reading like 3 different things right now. I do not know what is correct. I guess. I'm so sorry. I don't know the answer of this off the top of my head. I assume if you wind wall on top of yourself, you can block the stun from Tibbers.
Okay.
Ability details. Oh my god. Following projectiles are destroyed when they hit wind wall. Okay. Annie's disintegrate. Okay, so Annie's W isn't blockable by it.
Okay.
But oh mother of God. At least this is coming from League's main page. Okay, I guess Annie's W is not, and the things that I'm reading is that the stun from Tibbers is blockable.
Okay.
But I don't think Tibbers
in itself.
I guess not Tibbers itself, right?
Okay.
That would be a little overpowered. I know like Soraka's Star Call is not blockable.
Yeah, that's why Soraka is a hard counter to Yasuo.
Yeah. So that's really awkward. So okay. Now we have that solved. I'm so sorry. So I am not going to include that 5 minutes into this.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. So we're just gonna add on 5 minutes. So I'm not gonna include that because that's my own fault for not knowing. All right. So okay. Let's continue. So then you die here, which is fine. Now, one thing that obviously you're gonna have to get inside of this lane is Merc Treads, right? But don't always just blindly build Merc Treads. You know what I mean? It's not the be-all, end-all, like, tier 2 boots for him. But definitely in this lane because you factor in the stun from Tibbers, you factor in the stun from just her passive. Or, well, Tibbers would be used as a stun, I'm sorry. Factor in the stun from her passive, whatever. Yeah. So that's why Merc Tread's tenacity would be beneficial. Oh, mother of God, did he just die to Tibbers?
Yup.
We're gonna have a moment of silence for that Udyr. He's like taking his Udyr ultimate skin a little too serious. Like he's like, do you want to be a praying mantis? Like with Tibbers, like I don't know. Like I guess today we found out Tibbers is a female. I'm not quite sure. All right, so that's enough of that story. All right, so here, yep, you can go in Dirty Farm. Nice. Yep, Dirty Farm Wraiths. He's very good at doing this. Yep.
When I have the choice between farming the race and ganking the lane, I most of the time prefer taking race because I kind of get more out of it and don't take the risk of failing a gank.
Right. Well, not only that, but technically at the elo that you're at, I would recommend superior CS over, and again, this is just specifically for the elo that you're at, and improving at this elo and whatever. I would take superior CS over gank assistance.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you factor in that, like, what, 12.5 or like 14 CS is a kill. So, oh, yes.
I did. Yeah.
Oh, why didn't you just win wall? Why didn't you just win wall earlier?
Yep.
You could have win walled. Okay, so that's you ended up blowing flash, but you didn't have to. You could have win walled.
Yes, I know.
Yep. Okay. So here, things that you have to be considering. So you should be pinging the Annie's obviously missing. Or not that she's missing, but you look at the timer, and if you are right about Elise starting red, which now you can know if you are or not because of how the game's elapsed, Yep, blue would be up. So you can just, you know, that wind wall, I don't like it. Don't wind wall until she goes for the animation. You know what I mean? Like, if Annie's gonna do her W or she's gonna do her Q, her hands come together. Like, there's an animation for it. You know what I mean? And during that animation, you want to throw up the W. So
Just a second, is the video quality getting lower for you as well?
No.
It's pretty bad right now.
Okay, let me restart the share screen. Skype's been having this issues lately.
Okay.
So, does it work?
Yes.
Okay. Let's hit play.
Way better.
Alright. So the roam, I don't totally agree with. Primarily because Annie has blue buff, so her cooldowns, like, if she's running, like, Masteries and whatever, she did start Seekers, so she's not going DFG Annie. So she went Seekers. So with Masteries, she could be at 20% CDR right now. And that basically... Yep.
That's exactly my problem. The thing I especially choose this video is I don't know what I should do when I'm getting bullied. Annie will kill me over and over again, and I just try to roam other lanes because I want to get some kind of kills and get back. And I have no idea what to do when I'm getting bullied.
Okay. So basically, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to concede. Ooh, that's not paint. What the hell? Okay. So we're gonna go here. Okay. So what you're gonna do right now is you're gonna concede this portion of the lane. All right. And you're gonna have the minions fight up here. And when you have them fight up here, they're gonna stack in lines of 6. Right. So you're gonna have the 1, 2, 3 in front, and you're gonna have the 4, 5, 6, and then if there's a siege minion, you'll have the 7th. Right.
Yeah.
And when this happens, you'll throw up the wind wall. Okay. To protect not only you, but your own minions from these minions and Annie. And you'll CS this as fast as possible, and then you'll walk back to your tower. Okay? So you may take some blows, but you'll keep up in CS, and then in between that, Annie then is going to want to reset the lane, or she's going to want to gain control over it. So she's either going to do one of two things. She's either going to kill everything right around here, or she'll kill everything right around here. No matter what, by the time this minion wave or the next one, you know what I mean, arrives or something, they're going to collide again around, let's just use blue. Ooh, they're going to collide around here. During this time, you can...
Why there? If both lanes have reset completely...
Because of Annie.
Oh, okay.
So if Annie is trying to push the lane, then she's standing right around here, and the minions would stop in front of her.
If she's not trying because this is gold 1?
Okay, so, nice question. Okay, so if she's not trying and they collide again in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Technically, the minions are just going to be going at each other, and if Annie is not eating CS, then neither are you. And when minions do begin to get relatively low, you can throw up the wind wall, or you can go in for CS with, like, Q and E, and as she goes for her stun, this again comes back to the timing. So, like, let's say that there's a big minion, like, clusters... You know what I mean? Whatever. And you're standing like here and Annie's here or something. And you go in for like E. And she goes to hit you with a projectile. You throw up wind wall. Okay? And you block it. You get a few of the CS. And then you just back off. You're going to fall behind in CS. But you have alternatives that can, you know, bring you back into the lane that she doesn't. Annie can't farm wolves. Annie can't farm wraiths.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's not like the be-all, end-all. You know, to your lane. Are you behind? Yes, absolutely. Do you scale harder than Annie? Of course.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's just the dynamic of the lane. Not every lane is winnable. Not every lane is meant to be won. There are lanes where you are only, you're expected to fall behind 30% in your CS. You know what I mean? You know, that's what makes Faker as good as he is because even in those lanes where he's supposed to fall behind, he doesn't. You know? And it's just the dynamics. Not every lane is going to be in your favor. That's why counters exist and why hard counters, whatever. Now, Annie is not necessarily a hard counter to Yasuo, or even a counter, for that matter. Does she have some advantage over him? Of course. Does he pick up advantages later on? Yes. Is it maneuverable for Yasuo? Of course, especially because of wind wall. So it's just, you have to factor in all these things. Okay?
Okay.
All right, that all makes sense. Do you have any questions on that?
No.
Okay, so basically, just remember, like, obviously, I'll give you this VOD so you can relook at what I'm saying here. In this situation, if you fall behind or something, farm wolves and farm wraiths. Okay, if you have a jungler that can support your ultimate, you know, a knock-up jungler, either it's like Lee Sin with his kick, it's a Riven with, you know, broken wings that can pop them in, you know, Jarvan, anything that can support you, then maybe call for ganks. If you can't get gank support, there's no gank support, your jungler shouldn't be ganking your lane anyway. You know what I mean? If you've fallen behind 0-1, 0-2, your lane's technically dead. It's not your jungler's fault anymore, and your jungler should not be helping you. That's actually how you should view the lane, is your jungler shouldn't help you. You should tell your jungler, make top snowball or make bottom snowball. Just don't come mid. And the reason for that is because then a snowballed top collides with your snowballed mid.
I actually think I typed that to Udio.
Okay, good. That's good. That's correct then. Now, obviously,
Yeah,
there's
never-
going to be
never
exceptions to
gank a
this.
losing lane.
Right, there's going to be exceptions to this, like ranked fives play or like team play. There's different rules and mechanics to that based on different variables. But in terms of like solo queue and overall just principle, this is going to be correct more than it's not. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right, let's go.
Yep.
Also, you can time the enemy blue buff by when Annie came back into lane the first time.
Yes, I should have done that.
I think we've already seen this, right? This is where Elise.
No.
Oh, that's right. You
She
lived from
just
Elise.
killed
Okay,
me.
I'm sorry. I just saw Annie coming in from the similar angle, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Oof, bot lane. No, see? All right. So one
Yeah.
thing, right? Stop being premature with your win walls.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is really bad because not only, okay, so win wall, yes, it blocks an attack from you, but let's add some hidden text to it. Okay. Reflect enemy attack. Okay. So the enemy.
In that situation, I was actually expecting Annie to go all in on me. That's why I casted it. But yeah, I didn't do it to block the auto.
But
It was a mistake.
okay, but Annie is not instantaneous on anything except Tibbers, and she wasn't in range for Tibbers. Okay, so because she's not instantaneous in the sense that she just casts it, no animation, no no warning sign, nothing. She has projectile animations. Her hands come together, you know what I mean, like or whatever. That animation is when you cast Wind Wall. You have to you gotta improve yourself to get that good. You know what I mean? With your Yasuo. That's all about improving as a player, is getting that Wind Wall. Her hands come together, Wind Wall goes up. It's not
that's
just
what I meant.
right. It's not just blocking the attack; it's putting it on a cooldown too, technically. So it's like a Pokemon move. I forget the name of it, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about. But yeah. So okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
All right.
That's what I was talking about. I'm pretty bad in this game. I actually developed my Yasuo in the last couple of weeks. So
yep, right here.
yeah.
Like when you go for the wind wall. Okay, so right there was, you know what I mean? There was no animation. There was no. In fact, she was moving backwards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, you could also probably even say that she was DIing because of how rapid her champion's movement was. So that's even more, like, that is just, like, so rapid. Like, she was mid-motion moving forward, and then her character spun. So you know that she has, her mouse cursor's not on you right now.
What do you mean when you say DIing?
Okay, so this is a good question. I'm just going to address it in this video because so many people ask about it. So DI stands for direct input, not directional influence like Super Smash Brothers. And what DI is basically, okay, so here, I'm going to draw this out for you. Basically, Korean players discovered, okay, and I'll also link you something on Skype because Double Lift mentioned seeing SKT do it at Worlds. And what it does is it enables your champion to actually move different. So basically, if Annie goes to click here, okay, Riot has a set coding inside of the game for Annie's movement of every frame, of every pixel, of every situation inside of the map. Right? So Annie would then move around here, she might try to move through here, and then ultimately get to this spot. Now, if you don't want to take Riot's pathing right here, you don't want that, because it's not optimal for you, you want to DI it. So what you would do is you would spam click, you know, down, 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 up into here, and you would reach the same pathing slightly faster, but also through your own coding. You know what I mean? Like in your own, like whatever. Additionally, by spamming clicks in about this radius around your own champion, you can make your character's avatar change and turn direction faster than if you just like click. So if Annie's facing this way and you click here just once or something rather than clicking here twice, Annie will turn quicker.
Okay.
Mid movement. This isn't like fictional, like watch first person VODs of Korean pros, whatever. Double Lift also talks about it, and now he's, you know, talks about implementing it into his own play. It was in his AMA, and I tweeted it, I'll link you it on Skype, whatever. So this is DI.
I've read it.
Okay, so this is DI. This is what DI is. Everyone thinks that it's like moving. It's not moving. It's a completely different input command. Yeah, so anyway, if you click to move here, which is greater than like 3-4 inches in front of your champion, you're going to abide to Riot's coding. But if you click here and throughout the duration of clicking there, you click different movements along the way, not only is Annie going to move different, she's going to move the way that you want her to move. And you always want to be in complete control of your character and your pixel because it is an extension of your brain. You know what I mean? Annie's not real. Her kit's real. Annie's just an avatar that Riot provides you with. If Yasuo looked like Annie, and he still did the same things that Annie did, it has nothing to do with Annie. It just has to do with the kit. Yeah. So don't view it as an avatar. Just view it as yourself, and the kit is what you're electing to play.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Okay. All right, so moving on. Moving on from DI. So you also know that she's DIing based on how rapid her movement was. Whether she knows how to do it or whatnot, that's irrelevant. But she was DIing. So because you know that she's DIing, you know that her mouse cursor's not going to be anywhere near you. She's not even thinking about Tibbers.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's also important, something that I mentioned is watching champions' faces. And that's like important for bot lane, it's important, you know, for skill shot champions, because if you watch their faces, you can tell in which direction their mouse cursor's looking. Okay? So that's important.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and you turn to get that hit, and I think you... I think you can live if you don't go for that auto. Oh, you mean you tried to proc...
Q for wind, for tornado, so I could have an escape.
Okay. I get what you were thinking. But I think it's unnecessary.
Okay.
Annie... Nice, you're typing this. Nice. Now, do you know if Annie is running summoner cooldowns from the Masters?
No, that's why I just guessed it and prepared for Flash until 16:30. Okay.
Nice. Udyr dies. I think he's gonna die here. Annie. Oh god. Oh, he could kill. He could have killed Elise. Oh god.
I think he's doing it.
Wow. Okay. Where was Lee Sin? I guess Lee Sin really is blind, huh? He's like living up to that champion's name.
Yeah.
All right.
It's gold after all. What jumps never happen at this elo.
Yeah.
I'm the only one trying to do that with Lee Sin.
No, it's alright. It's alright. Okay. Ugh. Alright. So nice. You're dirty farming this. Alright. And now, something else that you're not doing is, even though you're behind, one way to help your team recuperate is to actually just buy more wards than you normally would. You should just concede the fact that you're not going to complete your core item, you know, on a timely fashion. And 150 gold is not going to break you, but 150 gold may save bot lane. 150 gold may save your jungler. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And they shouldn't be getting compromised because of your failure in mid lane. You know what I mean, in terms of dying and whatnot? So buy them wards. You know, ward for them. Give them advantages that you can't give them anymore through your laning. Instead, give it to them through map awareness and, like, map warding. Because carrying is not just winning your lane. It's not just doing well in lane, getting good CS, and then whatever. You can carry through vision. You know?
Okay.
So, yeah. And then also, just factor in the extra gold that you're getting from Avarice Blade, right? Imagine if you just didn't even get it. Imagine you just went Zeal first into Static Shiv. So, like, there's all these, like, little nuance things that you can factor in. Ow. Sorry.
Is it wise to freeze in the mid lane?
Freezing in the mid lane, it's good for, like, ranged champions or champions that can be abusive with it. Like, you know, like a champion that has an insane gap closer. If you even bridge the area or the gap between getting XP and not getting XP. Something like Riven.
No, I just meant that specific moment right now where I froze kind of.
No. Right now you need to okay, so if you freeze in the moment that you were just speaking of, right? All right, so you freeze up here, right?
Yeah.
The enemy now has vision over that. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
You know what I mean? This isn't good. You give them vision over that, so then your team only has vision of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This isn't good, you know? So you're conceding vision by freezing.
Good.
All right. Okay. And there's that premature wind wall again. She didn't even go for anything, you know what I mean? So technically, Elise could kill you because of that. Right? So that's not good. Well, I don't know if she'd kill you, but she'd force, well, yeah. You wouldn't get this wave of CS you'd be recalling right now. And then you'd be off the map, and then the lane would shove again with 2 waves before you're back, so you would concede again mid vision control for about another minute, which wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
Okay, so now your team has dragon, right? You guys killed dragon. No one typed in chat yet the next dragon timer. Now obviously you have timestamps on, so it's not that hard to know 21:58. So right now, why aren't you just shoving this wave, eating wraiths, eating wolves, getting back, shoving the wave, eating wraith, you know, like just rinse, wash, and repeating. Unless
afraid of any.
Okay, so buy wards.
I can't shove the lane if I'm afraid of any.
Why? You have wind wall.
Yeah. I think my thought process was she drops Tibbers on me because I didn't know that the stun is blockable by my wind wall. Either way, Tibbers is instant cast. I was afraid of Tibbers, so afterwards she would just burst me no matter if I place a wind wall or not.
Okay, but all right. So let me ask another question to play devil's advocate. Is Tibbers' range shorter than vision range?
No, but I can't shove a lane with a melee when Tibbers is up, because Tibbers' range is bigger than my auto range.
Oh, right, but what I'm saying is you can see Annie in your vision.
Yeah.
And Tibbers is not greater than your vision. Do you know what I mean? So you just don't go near her. You let her shove into you, and then you just shove it back.
Ah, okay.
That's all that I mean. That's all that I mean. Yeah. Okay?
Good.
And during that downtime, that's when you... Now, this is just terrible by Udyr. This isn't your fault. Like, these towers going down in mid, it's like, what's going on? Okay, they get bottom, they get top, but you guys are going to lose an inhib. Oof. Okay. Oh, this is... Oof. It's a 18-minute inhibitor. Okay. So right now, if this situation ever occurs, like, what do you hope has to happen? Now, they're up... How many towers? They have 4 alive, and you guys have 2 outer. Actually, no, okay, so they're... Oof. Okay. So they're up 4 towers right now. You guys are up a dragon, so that nullifies one of them. Sort of. Okay, so factor in that they're up about, 3 towers. So now... you factor in the fact that they're up 3 towers. You factor in that global gold. That tells you a rough estimate of where their core item completion is going to be. So now how do you play off this? Because you guys are really far behind. So in this situation, the next dragon is 2158. Okay? Top lane is shoving. Alright? So right now, you guys need to do a stalemate in mid and then continue eating your own jungle. Okay? While top and bottom lanes just kind of stalemate, and then you can eat the big waves.
Okay.
That cluster, okay? And then off of that, you need to stall until 2158, and then you'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay? And then you have to do a dragon fight. That's the only way to recuperate. If the dragon fight goes poorly, you guys are dead. That's just the situation that you're in right now. Now, if you have a Q that's a tornado and it's gonna run out, okay, so you just use it. If you can't see in front of you, like the fog of war or something, just throw it anyway. Don't just let it run out.
Yeah.
Okay?
I do that.
Okay, good. Okay.
Try to get the race there, but yeah, Udyr.
Yep. The Grog, is that Gragas support? Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I knew it was Gragas support from the beginning, but like, I'm just honestly questioning it. Like, anyway, this is this goes back to, I don't know if he picked that because you're Yasuo, you know what I mean? But Yasuo, this just goes back to what I said in the very beginning. Yasuo is a forceful pick. First pick. And if you're not picking it at higher elos, then you kind of force your team into picking champions that support him, and that's not the greatest thing. That you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that to your team.
In pick and ban phase, I wrote to my team that I am most likely going to play Yasuo, and they should pick knockups. And Udyr just said, I am playing Udyr no matter what. So Gragas was the only one who said, damn, we need a knockup in the team, and picked himself bloody damn Gragas support.
Okay. Yeah, that you don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Once you get into diamond or stuff, okay, then start picking Yasuo, because the champion pools are expected to be bigger. You know what I mean? Well, as a first pick, anyway. Champion pools are expected to be bigger. You can expect more out of the players in terms of game awareness, knowing functionability, etc. But right now, I wouldn't recommend first picking him, just in terms of like improving yourself. You know what I mean? So, okay. Okay. So now Gragas. Ugh, Gragas getting caught out. So, in this situation, the next time this happens, you need to type basically what I said. Is that, like, stall till next dragon. So just type it in all chat, you know what I mean? Stall till next dragon, dragon fight, you know what I mean? And just keep eating our jungle camps. So just advise it. Like, play leader. Even though you're 0-2 or 0-3, whatever, it's still the right thing to do. And if someone rages at you, it's because they're just going to rage anyway. So, if we don't start to group... Hold on, I'm just reading what you say. To like if we don't
if we don't
start, okay, yeah, okay,
it's over.
Yep, that's correct. No, stop with the preemies. Oh God.
Um,
There's
I'm
medicine
doing
for that.
that
There
to
is
stop
medicine.
them from hitting the tower.
Right, but you can let them hit the tower here. What's more important is that they don't hit the champions during a key moment. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because it's unrealistic that you actually are able to defend the tower. What you guys should do is actually a fight right here, and I'll outline that.
What we are doing, and I'm doing very poorly in this fight.
Right here. Okay, so let's just say that you can expect stuff out of Gragas, right? Gragas, if he doesn't have ult. Never mind.
Yep.
This isn't good. Oh my god. Okay, never mind. It completely erases everything I was gonna say. So, okay, this is even...
But I know what you would like to say.
Yeah,
knocking 2 or 3 people into our tower, and I could ult out of it.
Right. So Riven's top. I don't know why. But okay, so here, the fact that you guys are advancing forward is just silly. They're up so much gold.
Yes.
Now, right here, imagine if you have Wind Wall.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, these are more important moments to have it, rather than, like, the one up here and the one, you know what I mean, over there, like... Oh, you missed the...
Yes.
Oof. Does Riven clean up? She could. This is easy cleanup for Riven. And yeah, okay, this is nice. This is really nice cleanup. So now, like, you look at the game timer. So this is what I was talking about. Now, if you have Wind Wall, that fight goes even better. Did you even use ult? No. You didn't use ult?
No, I couldn't. I tried a few times because there were a few moments where I could, but it kind of didn't happen.
Okay. Also, I want to give you an alternative build for your Sao. It's beginning to pop up on Korea, so I'll type in the various builds to you on Skype in different situations. But
I know Blade of the Rune King after Static and build the Vampiric Scepter first.
Yeah, that's one. That's one. I'm talking about a different one, though.
Okay.
So I'll get that to you. So basically, right now, this is basically what would have happened, or what should have happened. And then you guys just continue to stall out, you eat your jungle camps, and you get dragon. From this position. Because dragon's up in 20 seconds?
It is up there doing it.
21.50. I thought it was... What? I thought it was 15:28 it died. Can I, like, not read the timing? Like...
I have no idea, but they are doing it.
Has slain the dragon. 15:28.
So it would be 21:28.
No, 26. What? 6 minutes, dragon.
Yeah, 15:28.
It's 21:28.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so... Was it... What? Am I, like, not seeing the game timer right or something? I don't know. Alright. So then, this fight's about to happen.
Yeah.
Quality on the video, I, like, can't see dragon. Alright, so this...
Yeah, then the next videos will be in higher quality.
Yep. Okay, so is
this... They might be waiting for dragon.
Is he just standing? Like, I can't... It's 21...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you said they were doing it, and I'm like, no, like...
Yeah, my bad.
Okay, I'm like... I just can't see on the minimap because Gragas is deciding he's gonna stand over where like the dot would spawn. So okay, all right, we're good. All right, we're good. Okay, so in this situation, everything's playing out similar to what I would have suggested, and now Riven like killing Lee Sin is what?
Pretty damn hard.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. So now let's skip forward again to the next fight. So right now, you guys need to, like, So in this situation, okay, so this applies if you end up playing top, you play AD carry, you play mid, whatever. In this situation, you always want to be shoving top lane to here and bottom lane to here.
Okay.
Okay? And you can easily just have safety by placing a ward here and having a ward here. Okay? And then obviously you have this jungle warded, whatever. And you can easily just escape. You know what I mean? To safety, no matter what. So these are the general like locations that you want to shove to, and then mid lane it has different rules and mechanics depending on who's up, team comp, etc. But generally you'll only be shoving out to like here at the max, because that's safety.
If I'm blue side, is it just the other way around?
Blue side, it's a little bit different. So blue side, you would have like a ward here, a ward here, and then you can ward this crossroad, and you can shove to here on blue. You can shove obviously to like here on blue, right before this intersection. Okay, and then you can shove to here on blue.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Yep. Go.
Yep.
Okay. Let's fast forward again to a fight. Preferably, I would like to see a Baron. Okay, here's a fight. All right, so Lee Sin shoving top, and okay, so right here, Gragas. All right, Gragas going for the ult. You respond with ult.
Yeah, which was totally bad.
Yeah, because why? Riven's top.
I just caught the tank of the team with my ult and nobody else.
Okay, so that's number one. Number two, just because Gragas ulted, it was a poor ult. You shouldn't respond to it. So Vayne is bottom, Riven was top. Didn't make any sense. And somehow this fight looks like it's gonna be cleaned up. So this is coming. This is coming down to team comp, and also they're maneuvering this a little bit poor. So here, okay, so here with the one-on-one with Lee Sin, what do you want to do?
Wind wall is cute.
That's not all. So before you take all this damage, all right? So okay, so kill. Okay, so you're gonna kill. That was just bad by Vayne. Not need to stand there. Okay, so if you before all this happens, before the damage happens, okay, you shouldn't even be standing next to Lee Sin. You should run backwards.
And charge my Q for tornado.
Okay, so you can run backwards, you charge your Q, but then what else do you do? You can start Eing through minions to manipulate, manipulate the fight. Okay? Because of unit collision, all right? So you can manipulate the fight through unit collision, you can manipulate the fight by generating wind wall faster, and you can manipulate the fight just by, dodging his Q better, you can dodge his his E, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, and then eventually like just outplay him through that. You should get to the minions here.
Okay.
Like Eing backward, like see, like you just straight up fight him and it doesn't make any sense. Lee Sin's cooldown based, and so are you, but your cooldowns are not reliant on skill shots entirely. You know what I mean? Like some of them they're skill shots, but not really. So because of that, you should have just manipulated the fight through the minions, then it makes it a lot more awkward for him to kill you. Especially because then he's not autoing you, auto, and your damage comes from your raw control instead of just your auto attacks. So you would benefit more from periodic autos than he would.
And yeah, Riven is chasing like a boss in that moment. Yeah, but I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
But I get it.
She should just turn on ult and hit him. Oh, okay, never mind. Why did she ignite?
Yep.
Oh my god. Kill secured. Oh my god. I was like beating a dead horse. I don't know. Alright.
Better overkill him.
Yeah. All right, let's fast forward to a Baron fight so that you get the most out of this. Because right now it's just gonna be rinse, wash, repeat for the next like 10 minutes, I assume, right? Like the same shit's just gonna keep happening, right? So I like.
I found out that I'm pretty good when it comes to team fighting later on, but especially mid game is not my case.
Okay. So now we're right.
I tend to overextend then, and my map awareness is pretty poor, and I need to work on it.
How many people do they have down right now? Now, one thing that I'm also noticing is you're not tabbing a lot. Like you are, but I mean sometimes you do tab, but it's not frequent enough to matter. Also, something that I'm going to tell you about, I'm actually going to make a video on it, is I came to... It's strictly solo queue, and it's only if people abuse the tab thing while dead, but there's something that you should start doing. I'll just list to you on Skype. That's about itemization when dead, and buying and stuff, so, yeah. But anyways, so moving forward, this just goes back to the tab thing. Tab more. You know what I mean? Read into builds more. Because right now you're just blindlessly building the static Shiv into IE, and I wouldn't agree with that if you knew the alternative routes to Yasuo, like Yasuo's build. Okay, good. So you guys get another dragon. So things are starting, you know what I mean? Things are starting to turn up. You are still down on towers, but now you're up 3 dragons. All right. And your team scales way better than their team.
Yes.
So that, you know, that's always something to also factor in, is at what points is your team stronger than the other team in terms of game length? You know what I mean? Because you can be getting crushed 20-8, you know what I mean? But it's 20 minutes in. But you know that if you reach 30-35 minutes, innately your team scales better, even if you're down all one core item. It doesn't matter. Because once some core items come together, it becomes better for you. Okay, so this is what I wanted to see, the Baron fight. Okay, so you have purple side Gragas. Like, this is gigantic. Like, and this is why purple side Gragas is so scary. Because, so, this is just for your own, you know, knowledge. What do you notice about this right now?
Gragas could easily ult into them, and I could follow.
You could follow, but then what else could Gragas do with his ult on purple side?
Steal Baron.
He can steal Baron, and what else? He can knock
people out of the pit.
He can knock them out of the pit. That's really scary. Because then he can also protect himself, right? So like if you guys are coming up from the bottom, right? Like you guys are going to come up from this route. Okay? And Gragas is here. If people are standing too close to the edge and he ults, you know what I mean? Then he can E in. That's, you know, so he can create like these really weird outplays. This is why purple Gragas is so scary. You know what I mean? About Baron fights. So this is also something that you had to take into consideration with your team comp, is you have purple Gragas. And I'm not talking about his outfit. So no. So you have purple Gragas. Alright, so this is pretty big. There's so much room for outplay here. So Baron fights are really, really dangerous for their team. Did I just see what I think I saw? I don't even...
Yeah.
Saint Vicious is on EU. I don't know. Oh, Dignitas. Alright, so... Okay, your team just wins. I mean, that should not have happened, but... Crucitas. Alright. What was that win? What was that win?
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god, we're gonna need to get you some meds. Alright. So... That was nice. That was a nice Q. And then, yeah, so Riven takes that. No! Why'd you flash? Just win wall in...
Yeah.
I mean, just E into this Wraith and get onto him. Do you know how to do the jumps with Yasuo?
Yep.
Okay, because Bishu made a really, really nice guide on it, and I would recommend just checking it out if you don't know all the jumps and how to do it. It's really, really beneficial. I can link that. I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't, I'll link it to you in Skype, and then also if I upload this to YouTube, I'll also link Bishu's thing in the info below. Because it's a really, really beneficial guide to anyone that wants to learn Yasuo. So. Okay. So right now, yep, you guys could probably actually even take that second tower, if you guys were just doing it, like, fine, like Riven's E and whatever, and, like, just the damage you guys would do. You probably could have just tanked it, and then you could have rotated down bottom. So these are rotations, all right? So we'll pause. That's fair damage. So anyways, like, keep this lane shoved. This is fine, right? But technically the tower probably could have gone down. I think it would have gone down. You guys would have gotten really low, and then you would have to recall. But as played, you can keep this lane shoved. You can rotate down bottom. One of you rotate top. Shove until here. Move up to here and recall inside this brush. Riven goes down, shoves the lane to tower, moves backwards and recalls. Everyone groups mid, comes mid, and then you have 2 lanes shoving.
Okay. Rotations, like Monty would say.
Enter Monte Cristo, enter. There you go. So, there you go. Rotations. All right. Okay, so now let's just go to the next team fight. What just happened? Why am I seeing a death screen? Well, I see people alive, so...
It's a Twitch.
Oh, it's a Twitch. Everyone blame Twitch. What was that ult? He's had a little one too many W's today. I don't know. Like, all right. So, all right. Now we're gonna get like Last Whisper. Now, okay. So you get Negatron. All right, good. So one thing that I always recommend is when you start approaching the mid to late game. Now, obviously this is super late game, but it came faster than normal because of the circumstances of the game. Is you're gonna obviously want us to begin to build tanky. Because if you can skewer people's 100 to 0 combos, even in the slightest, that it means they have to use 1 more skill on you or 1 more auto or something, that's a very big difference. Even if it's only 2 seconds more that you're alive in a fight, that's 2 seconds more that you could get, you know, 2 autos off, or like a cooldown on a skill comes up or whatever. So that's important. But one thing that, again, this goes back to tabbing, is they have 2 hyper squishies. Okay, and if you can burst their hyper squishies, all their damage goes away because of the components of their squishies. So they have Annie and Twitch, and then they have, you know, it followed up by Lee Sin, Elise, and Leona. Okay, that can't deal damage. So if you actually just get the Negatron and then ignore that, and then go Hydra, okay. So this is something that I was talking about that's, you know, starting to pop up on the Korean server, is Hydra Yasuo. So you hit them with the Q, then you ulti, and as everyone lands, you Hydra and auto. And it is the scariest burst, like, ever. Especially if you hit, like, a 3-man, 4-man ultimate. It's disturbing.
Okay.
So that's one of the alternates to Yasuo. And then also that Hydra can be built right after Shiv. In some cases, and then also Hydra can be built first in some cases, although I wouldn't recommend it, and that's very lane specific. So, yeah. All right. Okay. Let's go. And that's also probably more so for top Yasuo. Yasuo.
Okay.
Yasu. However, you know what?
We pronounce it Yasuo.
Fizz is a girl, okay? I don't know if you knew that, but she is. Like... Alright, so we're good. Okay, so you guys killed 2 people here, and now just shove mid. Good job, team. Yep. So do the Sky Williams, DST. Make everyone feel better about themselves. DST. Sky Williams. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, there's an ult. Okay. Also, I don't know if you knew this, but... apparently, there's something about Yasuo's ultimate. I'll do the research for you. About your cursor in relation to your ult. If multiple people are in the...
Yeah, I know that. Okay. If I put the cursor on a slightly different angle, I can actually manipulate the way he ults the enemy. If he's appearing behind him or in front of him.
Yep. Not only that, if people are popped up in the same, like, vicinity, you can also choose who you ult onto, like where you land. So that's pretty big. Okay, and now here I would check the death timers before going for game, which is you weren't doing it. So if you guys get reverse aced here, it's your own fault, sort of. What is going on? People are just melting. And then Gragas decides he's gonna try to 1v1 Twitch. Oh, Gragas, you're so cute. Oh, it's game, right? Oh no, Twitch is a good champ. All right, Nice chat. Why? All right. Well, you didn't give her any wind walls. That was kind of bad. So that was just bad by your team because you guys weren't doing death time. You know, Riven didn't even use ult. Well, let me actually check. I wasn't looking during the fight. Maybe she didn't have it. Okay, she didn't have it, it seems, before she went down. It seems. Did she have it? All right, let's hold on. Let's wait for a second. Broken wings. I don't know why she wasn't there with you for Gragas. Oh, her ult's up. Oh my god. Okay, well, it's not the end of the world. So your GA is down. So right now you need to, what do you need to do right now? You need to swing bot, cut off the lane, cut off the wave that is shoving, okay? And then run all the way back up, kill it, and then get blue if you want blue. If you don't want to give it to Gragas, you don't want to give it to Riven, Udyr, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then just, re-push the lane down to around Dragon, and then also Dragon's up again, right? So you want to get that.
Okay.
You can also, if you want to min-max efficiency, you could technically sell GA and get Last Whisper. You know what I mean? Even though the stats from GA are still, like, they're still relevant. You know what I mean? You got the MR and the armor. At this point, again, it comes down to the dynamics of everything. If you should not be the primary focus initially. Riven and Vayne should be. At the very, very beginning. So because of those dynamics, again, this comes down to your team comp and understanding team comp. And we'll go over, like, picks and bans, game theory, you know, champion comp, everything like that in later lessons. But because of these dynamics, you don't necessarily need the GA right now while it's on cooldown. Okay? So you could take that.
I sometimes sell it and buy another defensive item for it, but I don't do it now.
Yeah. So that's fine. Okay, so let's...
I think the only other fight is at the pretty end.
Okay.
Like real fight, not picking up people.
Yeah, I don't want to see the dragon pickoffs because there shouldn't actually be a dragon contestation. I mean...
Yeah, the really last fight is at 43 minutes.
Okay.
Something around that.
Now, also, what is one thing that you notice about their team comp?
It's not really a comp.
Okay, well, that's one thing, all right. But what about their comp? In total, like in total.
They have more or less zero wave clear. They have Lee Sin, which falls pretty damn hard off late game. Yeah, don't know what you're trying to get to.
They're very immobile, right? And their comp is reliant on having both Twitch and Annie present, right? Now, if you're split pushing, who do they have to send to you?
Either Twitch or Annie.
Right, because of how big you've gotten. They can't send Lee Sin, not if you're doing it properly. They could send Elise, but then you're so much more mobile than Elise right now. You would just outmaneuver her, and you can get back to the team fight, and then you can also use the gap closing from your ultimate's range with Gragas to jump into fights. You know what I mean? So you could say, like, see you later to Elise if you guys are, like, both running to the fight. So because of that, you should be executing a 104 or a 401.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is gold. When I split push, the enemy sees, oh, it's a Yasuo bot, let's catch him and kill him. And run with 4 people bot lane to kill me, and my team does nothing out of it.
So then talk to them. Just ping them. Just ping them. Say, I go bot, you shove mid. Just type in chat 401 and 104. If they're like, what's that? You just simply say, 4 top, 1 bot.
Okay.
Enter Monte Cristo, enter. Okay? Like, there you go, rotations. Like, so, we're good. Alright, so let's just get this last fight. I assume it's a Baron dance?
No, it is not.
Oh. Well, alright. I guess no one wants to dance with Baron. Alright. Lonely kid at the prom. I get it. No. No, so, it's fine.
This fight is kind of weird, though.
This is really bizarre. Now, if you guys have 4 people here and you're bottom shoving, this would still be occurring because of their lack of wave clear, right? So this siege would be going. And then if they engage, technically, I didn't get to see yet. Gragas has Talisman of Ascension.
Yep.
Is that his name and thing? Okay. They can just disengage. You know what I mean? And then you just get a tower. If their team tries to go on them. Now, obviously, yes, they do have flash tibbers, which is really fucking scary. But it's not the end of the world.
What I was trying to do here is charge my Q. Oh, well, I was trying to ult in that right moment and didn't know why I'm not behind the enemy.
Oh my god. Oh, this... Oh! That was
Yeah.
dirty. Oh, but does it matter? You're up. Okay, now... Okay. That was good. That was good. That was fine. Things could have been done better early. But... You know, like, it would require, like, your team doing stuff better, so you can't really control that. But the fight went okay. Yeah. So the wind wall could have been better, but we've already addressed that your wind walls could be better. So okay. So do you have any closing questions?
What can I do to get a better map awareness? I really like it. I'm playing on a pretty big screen, which might not be the best idea. I can't put LOL on a
well,
more
standard
tiny window because then bugs can occur and my mouse is on the desktop and not in game, and I'm trying to.
You can lock the mouse in windowed LOL.
I tried to do that, but yeah, the Mac client for League of Legends is pretty buggy. So yeah.
There's your problem. No, so okay. So all right. To answer that question, tournament regulation monitor size is 23 inches. Bigger than that is probably bad.
27 is mine.
Huh? What?
Mine is 27. So yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yes, that is actually probably you know, your keyboard, your mouse mat, your monitor, they're all an extension of you. You shouldn't be, you know what I mean? Like using disadvantageous gear, basically. So that would be one thing that you could just look into as just a better monitor size. Alternatively, if you want to work on your minimap awareness and you don't want to do it in ranked, you can either go into normals and in between auto attacks, like literally just look at the minimap, just glance. That's how you trained it in StarCraft like 1, StarCraft 2. You just train yourself to look at the minimap every half a second, every 1 second, every 2 seconds.
Okay.
Alternatively, get another level 30 or like, you know, go on like a bronze or like a silver ID or something that, you know, is really low and just practice there in ranked so that there's still a competitive atmosphere and there is still pressure on you, but it's not as big as the division or tier that you're currently in.
Yeah, I'm playing ranks in 3v3 a lot of the time and on 5v5 with the team, so that should be good enough for practicing that.
All right. So is that all good?
All good.
All right, great, man. All right, I will talk to you shortly on Skype, and if you have any questions in between, you can just ask me there.
Okay.
Okay, all right. I'll talk to you soon. Later.
See ya.
See you.